as you come to a comfortable seat, depending on how tight you feel will be how high you elevate your seat. I have a folded up blanket here, but sometimes I'm up on a block or a bolster. So take a moment to move a little side to side to shift your sitting bones. And then as you come to some stillness, lengthen your sides, shoulders up and back, and lengthen the back of your neck. And as you let your eyes close, take this time to start to deepen your breath. As you begin to deepen your breath, also use your breath to help you notice. Checking in with the different parts of your body, or even noticing the general state of your mind right now. And now with your next couple of breaths, add a pause at the top of the inhale and a pause at the bottom of the exhale. And do this a couple of times, letting yourself just notice that space. And then return to a natural breath. Connect palms together at heart center. And as you gently press your palms together, you're lifting up and back with your shoulders. And then bow toward your heart. Take a full breath. Just taking a moment to honor yourself for taking this time. And softly opening your eyes, release your hands down and then give your shoulders some rolls back. And then roll your shoulders forward. And then shoulders up and back, shoulder blades are engaging, and take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a couple big breaths here, just feeling that length through the side of your neck. And now a little up and down tilt here, keeping that tilt to the side. Then inhale back to center and exhale over to the left side. And again, just for a moment, notice the length of the side of the neck. Maybe notice where your neck muscles feel like they connect at the shoulder. You have some in the front, some in the back, some on top. And then a little up and down movement. And then back into center. And now as you move your shoulders up and back again, drop your chin down in toward your chest, taking your gaze toward the ground, and shake your head no. And then lift your gaze and shake your head no. And then lift your gaze again, so you're looking up, your chin is up, and take a half circle or two here. Chin up and over to the other shoulder, back up and over to the other shoulder. And now back into center. Take right ear to right shoulder again. This time hold on to the side of your head with your right hand. And now you're going to try to move your neck muscles out to the left side. So a little lean with your neck out to the left. Take a big deep breath. And inhale, come back into center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Take a hold of the side of your head with your left hand. And again, right neck muscles get leaned over to the right side. Big breath. And inhale back into center and switch the cross of your legs. Come maybe to a little more uncomfortable place for yourself. And if it is a lot more uncomfortable, then maybe add some props. Okay, so now reach your arms out long and we'll start to get into the shoulders a little bit more here. Reach through your fingertips, draw shoulder blades onto your back. And then we're gonna hug ourselves. So wrap one arm over the other. Doesn't matter which one, because we're gonna do both sides and we're gonna do it a few times. Inhale, open it up, and exhale, switch the cross. Inhale, open it up, and exhale, switch again. Walk your fingertips toward your shoulder blades. Inhale, open it up, and exhale, switch. Good. So now, inhale, open it up, and this time as you cross, you can take hugs again, or you can take eagle. So you might take fingers holding onto your palm, or you might come back to that hug. However, whichever variation you're taking, you're gonna lift your elbows up to shoulder height and draw shoulder blades onto your back. And then little circles in one direction for your elbows. And little circles in the other direction. And then release your arms, open it up and switch the cross. And again, you can either take eagle or hugs, either one. And then lift elbows up to shoulder height. Draw shoulder blades onto your back. And little circles in one direction. And little circles in the other direction. And now back into center, go ahead and release the arms, hands come to your knees. And move through your spine in a seated cat and cow now. Exhale, press back. Inhale, draw your belly and your heart forward. Take a couple more this way. Good. Then inhale, sit tall, and this time gratitude. So elbows hug in by your sides, your palms are lifted. Now you're going to rotate with your arms so that your thumbs are moving back. This gets a little bit more into the front of the chest. Take a big deep breath and feeling the shoulder blades engage. Think of the little pulses that you can do to maybe feel your shoulder blades release and draw together, release and draw together. So you can pulse with your arms toward the wall behind you. And then stay as open as your body is ready for here. Engage your hands, elbows are hugging in. You've got that rotation. And then take right ear to right shoulder. On your exhale, drop your chin into your chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin into your chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin into your chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. And then come back up to center. Release your arms. And one more time, cat and cow. Then inhale, sit tall. And we're going to bring our feet out in front of us. You can take out whatever you're sitting on if you want to, or you can keep it there. But footprints to the floor in front of you. Take a hold of your knees. And take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale, round back. Inhale, sit tall. And exhale, press back. One more time, full inhale. Long, deep exhale. Then inhale, sit tall, and we'll start to work a little bit more through the hips, the quads, a little movement with our legs. So walk your feet out wider than your mat, your hands come behind you for support. And then with flexed feet, lift the fronts of your feet up. You're going to start to move your knees side to side, your windshield wipers. As you move your knees side to side, depending on how tight you are, that might dictate how far you go. So your knees might come all the way to the ground on each side, or you might have to take it a little more gently. That's okay. Either way, you're working through the hips. Take one more on each side. Now back up to center and soles of feet come together into your butterfly. And in your butterfly, optional here if you want to, you can grab your blanket if you have one and roll it up. And then set your blanket over the tops of your feet and wrap the edges underneath your legs. And now from this place, notice how your pelvis is tilted. So if your belly is pushing back and your low back is pushing back, then maybe take your feet a little further away from you so you can tilt your belly a little more forward, creating a lumbar curve. So now you can hold on where you need to. It can be peace fingers on your big toes. You can hold on to your blanket or fingertips behind you. Lift up tall, take a big full deep breath here. And now if you have a fold in you, hinging from the hips here, you're welcome to fold forward. What I want you to notice though is if that makes the low back round back, then maybe stay upright, because even sitting upright is technically a forward fold, okay? So as you find where that is for you, you might hold on to something. You might even take hands out in front of you onto a block or a prop. Take a big deep inhale and lengthen your front. Extend your collarbones and your ribs more forward. As you exhale, maybe you fold a little bit deeper, or maybe you stay right where you are, or even rise up a little ways. You need to tune into what that is. One more big breath here. And now inhaling, rise all the way back up. And then we're gonna take the blanket off of our feet, we can set it aside, and we're gonna take a half happy baby pose version while sitting. Usually we do that while laying down. But you'll create a base with your left leg, and you can always sit up on that blanket if you want to. Sometimes that's just easier on the low back. And now you're gonna pick your right leg up and hold on to your shin, hold on to the outside edge of your foot if you want to. You can always hold on to around the back side of your thigh. So find where you can sit up the best, and then begin to create a pull back with your hand and a push forward with your foot or leg, whatever you're holding on to. Left fingertips get to be your support. Press down and lift up tall. Take a full big breath. One more full breath, lengthening all the way down at your pelvis. So think of finding that tilt forward with your belly. And then gently release your leg or your foot and create that base out of your right leg. And your left leg lifts. You get to hold on to your shin, your thigh, outside of your foot, whatever is best for you. Right fingertips beside you, lift up tall. And then create that resistance, a little pull back and a push forward. Take a deep breath. Another full deep breath right here. Good. And then gently release your leg. So now we're going to switch legs again. And this time, your right leg becomes your base. And if it's in your practice, you're moving your foot underneath your leg. So then your thigh bone is moving more forward or even moving diagonally across a little bit to the right. Right foot either gets to be on the inside or the outside of your left knee. Take your hands around your right knee and hug it in. And then lift up tall through your spine. Good. Now, as you turn your belly and your heart to the right side, take your right thumb into your hip and think of pushing forward on your thigh bone, creating a little space in that hip. Lift up taller. As you exhale, use your ribs to help you twist. So draw in with your ribs and twist from the ribs up. Now, if you want to, you can switch and hug your knee with your elbow, or you can reach your elbow across. Take a big, deep inhale and sit taller. Exhale, ribs help you twist. Inhale, come back into center. And now a little counter twist. We're going to twist to the other side. Your right hip gets to lift a little bit. Hands can come to the floor. You can always bring your hands to a block here if you want to, but lengthen your spine and then twist from your ribs. Exhale, ribs in to help you twist a little more to the left. And then go ahead and release your hips back down and switch the cross. So uncross your legs, your right leg comes underneath. Think of heel towards your hip, doesn't necessarily have to go all the way there. And then left foot inside or outside. Hold your knee, hug it in, lift your ribs. And then as you exhale, ribs draw in to help you twist to the left, thumb into your hip crease. Push the thigh bone forward, lengthen, exhale, ribs draw in to help you twist. And then you're welcome to switch where your right arm is. Take a big breath wherever that is for you. Inhale, come back into center, and now we're going to take that counter twist to the right. So your left hip gets to lift. And then as you turn yourself to the right side, again, use the ribs to help you twist more. And now hip back to the ground, footprints to the ground. And now let's lengthen legs out, but we're going to take more of a restorative version of a forward fold. So grab pillow or bolster, you can grab your blankets. If you don't have any of that handy, then you're just going to bend your knees here with your feet flexed. Otherwise, you're going to place something underneath your legs. It could even be your rolled up yoga mat. Means you have to get off of it, I know. Okay, so now if you have something to put your legs over, then you're going to let them rest. And then move your sitting bones. And now from this place, press fingertips down and lift your heart up high. And then as you hinge from the hips and take your fold, you get to come to the variation here that feels the best. So you might reach right out for your feet, or have hands at your shins, or hands at the floor. Or my favorite, I like to have elbows at my thighs, but that really works best if you do have something underneath your legs. Otherwise, take what feels the best. Take an inhale and lengthen, and exhale, maybe deepen. Full, big, deep inhale. Long, full exhale. One more big breath. I apologize for the barking dog in the background. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Footprints to the floor, and then move your bolster aside. And now we're going to come to lay on our bellies. So you're going to roll over to your side and then all the way onto your belly. And then we'll get into both hips and shoulders. So you get to determine for yourself if you would like to focus on both or if you just want to focus on one. So from here, right arm reaches out to the right side and your palm is down. And as we turn our body, if you need to change the angle of your arm, you can move it more toward yourself, more toward your side. Otherwise, palm stays down, because when we turn our palm up, it actually rotates the shoulder in the other direction, the way we don't want it to go. So left hand is your helper, start to rotate to turn to the right side. And from this place, if you want to, the top leg can lift, bend your knee and set your foot behind you. And the distance away from you sometimes affects this stretch. You can set your head down here, or you can always set it on a prop if you want. Take a full, big, deep breath. If you are stepping behind, then think of lifting your knee upward. One more big breath. And then unwinding all the way back to center. And reach your left arm out to the left. And again, remember, you can change the angle of it. Right hand underneath your shoulder and begin to turn yourself to face the right side. So you're on your hip and the outside edge of your leg. And then top leg lifts if you want. Bend your knee and step your foot behind you. And as I said, you can always choose to just do the shoulder part of this if you want. And always keep your right or your top leg, yeah, that's your right leg, stacked. You can experiment with how far away you walk your foot. One more big breath. And then gently unwind, and then set your head up on your hands and bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs. And as you send your legs side to side, this is just another variation of those windshield wipers that let us work through the hips, the low back, checking in with what's there. It's a really great thing for the nervous system to move in this way. It allows the lower part of your spine to move. And then releasing your legs down, hands underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and push all the way back to a child's pose. So you can walk your knees in here if you want to, hips to heels. And then take the variation of child's pose that feels the best in your body. If it's in your practice, you're settling your head down on something. That could be stacked fists or a block or all the way down on the floor. Just think of allowing your forehead to rest. And then gently push yourself up to your seat. And we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. And just make sure that you can reach all of your props. And if your neck is tense tonight, then you're welcome to have that rolled up blanket ready to put underneath your neck for our Shavasana. So coming all the way down onto your back, knees drawing toward your chest, rock a little side to side. Let that movement through the low back happen. We've already done 2 forms of windshield wipers. We're going to do a third. This is typically the one that most people know and love. So now footprints to the floor, walk your feet out wide, wider than your mat. So as you drop your knees over to one side and then to the other side, you have that long stretch through your thigh. So as your knees drop to the right, your left thigh gets stretched. As your knees drop to the left, your right thigh gets stretched. So as you move from side to side, you can reach your arms up overhead if that feels good. One more on each side. And now back into center with your feet, arms back by your sides, and then lift knees up towards your chest and open them up wide. Flex your feet, and then you're moving your knees forward and back, allowing for your pelvis to tilt. And now you're moving your knees in opposite directions. So right knee forward, left knee back, then left knee forward, right knee back. A little pivot happening here through your pelvis. And now back into center, draw knees up toward each other and hug them in, and then do some pulses. Just a couple of pulses in and out, so you can pull them close and release, pull them close and release. And then set your feet on the ground, and you'll make a choice now of what would be the most comfortable for you to rest. So you can simply drop your knees in together to touch here. You can add a pillow or a bolster underneath your legs. Sometimes gives your low back a little bit of a release. You're welcome to take soles of feet together into a butterfly if you want to. Start to find a really comfortable place to settle and to relax and release whatever you're holding on to. And to take the time to notice throughout your body, from your feet to your crown, anything that's there. Even now, release the work of noticing. Just let go of doing anything at all. And now bring awareness back to your breath. And move through fingers and through toes. And as you're ready to, bend your knees and roll over to your side. And pause on your side for a full breath. And then gently press yourself back up to your seat, trying to use as little core strength as possible. Then bringing hands together at heart center, with your eyes closed, take another moment to notice throughout your body as you take a deep breath. Have a very peaceful, beautiful rest of your night. Namaste. Thanks.